Good morning, dear Capricorn. Let's dive into your mind, body, and soul for the present and the future. And this is for mid-April 2021. I hope you're doing well. It's again sunny in the morning. I love it. So, here's gonna be a row for the present. That's your mind. That's your body. That's your soul. And here's the future row. Mind, body, and soul. Okay, so the Four of Inspiration, it's the Four of Swords in your current mind position. So this can indicate that you are having some time for reflection. It feels a bit as if it's not necessarily something that... Oh, you know what? I made a mistake. Inspiration are wands, not swords. I'm sorry. I still mess them up sometimes, but now I got it. Okay. That changes the meaning a bit. So it's less about reflection and more about being kind of, this is about your mind. So wandering with your mind towards people and locations where you are welcomed and where people wait for you to arrive. This arriving process means also transforming in yourself, and not just transforming, but becoming and also maturing. That's what I get from this card. So a mind aspect inside of you is calling you to I think, mature and transform a bit. And also search for the places. We all have places and people where we can be where we can be very intimate, or the people we can be intimate with, and very close, like family. So maybe you are right now just trying to visualize and to set your mind on these people. Maybe you're not very happy with where you are at the moment. So then we get into the body and the present situation. That's the Hierophant, and they're sitting above, so you can kind of go to the Hierophant and climb and do some kind of put some work into getting there. But this Hierophant is a bit lonely. I don't think that they are suffering from loneliness here, but yeah, a little bit dreamy and lonely and looking more inside, although they seem to look at the skies. So, but I don't think that, I don't know, it's like more a meditative state, and they look also very unapproachable. So maybe you're lacking a bit of connection towards your own body. You're thinking about doing sports or going out or doing something for your physical health, but it seems kind of beyond your reach, or beyond, it seems as if it's bigger than you. Or you are actually well connected to your body, but you kind of have an ideal that is beyond your reach, or beyond what is possible for your body at the moment. So that's why you're kind of looking up to that, but can't really embody it. We can also get a little bit rigid with the Hierophant towards those body, or not only body, but in general. So it can be a bit, you could ask yourself, where do the ideas about how I am supposed to be physically, or how I am supposed to be health-wise, where do these ideas come from? Who set them in my head? Is there maybe, like, a Hierophant is also somebody, an energy that is deeply rooted in traditional structures that do not mean anyhow to be correct just by themselves as how they are. They're also just made up stories. So yeah, maybe you're just you're struggling a bit with that, or you're on the way to find out more about it, more about yourself in regards to these issues. Struggle is not always negative. It usually, struggle brings us to a better place than we are in now. Yeah. So next one is the soul. So we have the Emperor and the soul. Oh, by the way, I think also that the Hierophant and the Emperor being majors in these positions could just be that you have more emphasis on it right now, because these are the things that are important at the moment, or make themselves important, or any kind of life forces bring these issues to be more prominent in your life at the moment. Okay, so the Emperor in your soul, in the present, it's a very strong energy, and yeah, maybe your soul is a bit, I get something like the soul knows kind of what is the right thing, but when you look around in the world, you barely find what your soul is kind of crying for. That creates quite a bit of tension. welcome back. So I will be cutting this video or putting them together because my camera went off. The battery was finished, empty. So I had to charge in between. That's why the lighting is a bit different, but I kept everything as it was and yeah, just resume. Okay, so we stopped at the Emperor in your present soul aspect. So this was about like the soul building up, because realizing that like the world is different from what you feel on the inside, and you might have kind of struggles to realize yourself, like your true inner callings to yeah, you don't want the world to adjust you, and you don't want to adjust to the world fully, so there's some form of middle way that has to be found. Middle way sounds like compromise, but that's not what I intend to say. Not a middle way, but let's say solution. There is solution, and you'll find it, and yeah, you just you might be reflecting on that and looking for that. But yeah, I think, this finding aspect, you have to believe that you'll find, and you'll find, and not get too obsessive and too controlling about searching. Cannot just let things develop, so that search will be like have a loose approach to the searching. More less searching, more believing that you'll find. Okay, then we have the future row in the same three aspects, or I don't know, mind, body, and soul. So the mind, 3 of voices. So that might be some, I think it's about realization, and about, there's a good word, but I don't know it in English. So when we fall for an illusion, disillusionary, like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's a state of being disillusioned, if that's a word. So when we fall for an illusion, and then things clear up and we see the things for what they are, and we probably are disappointed. That's why it's the 3 of voices. It's harsh, it's hard, it's sad, it's somehow breaking or destroying, but it is breaking and destroying the illusions and all the things that we thought about a situation or other things that were wrong. So we actually clear up after that. We understand better. But it can hurt, but just we need to move through the hurting, through the pain, and accept it, not fight against it. Otherwise this will, the suit of swords, so there are different things happening between the 3 and the 9 or the 10, for instance. And but it can turn into, a 9 or 10 when we resist this particular feeling, because here is the 3 of swords. That's what it is about. You can grieve your illusion. You can grieve your yeah, your wrong thinking, and realize that it's different, it changed, something changed, and that's fine. But it's always easier to say than to do it, but I think you'll be fine. You'll work through it. It will be good. So then we move on to the body. Here's the 7 of emotions. So that's a bit about choice. So I think it's you who will be actively choosing and deciding on your body, or about your body, about your physical existence, about your materiality, about your health and appearance, maybe. So yeah, maybe in choosing there's also an aspect of reflecting upon why we choose something and why we dismiss something else. So sometimes we can't move further because we are actually not really understanding why we have chosen one thing. And it's kind of, we continue to be in a circle, and of trying and how is the word? When you try and it doesn't work out, failing, yeah. Because we don't have a very clear perspective about the whole matrix of these decisions. We don't see the different options and what distinguishes them from each other. Yeah, and that's fine. There's nothing we can do about it when it's not there, when we don't see, when it's blurred and nebulous, is that a word? Like blurred and foggy, kind of. That's fine, but we can also accept it and set our mind on saying, okay, I see that I don't see. I see many options, but I don't see my way and my positioning, my decision very clearly. So I set my mind on, again, finding it out. Yeah, and not being overwhelmed by all of it, but kind of, if there's a way to have it playful, then that's, I think, the best way to approach it. Playfully thinking of, okay, let's figure it out. So what do I want? How should things be, and why? And why shouldn't they be the other way or the other ways? Yeah. So that's about the body and the future. And here we have the soul in the future, the 2 of materials. Actually, it's like a balancing act between 2 very equal qualities. What did we say about the Emperor? Finding a middle way, which is maybe not the best because it's like compromising, but finding a solution. So there may be, when you have 2 aspects, and they both can be the solution, if that's not overwhelming. And maybe at times one is more important than the other. And when your soul calls for something and the world is kind of hindering or how do you call that? Disagreeing with you. If not actively, but you kind of passively understand that if it doesn't work out like this, so there are circumstances that kind of are in the way of you getting to, you know, fulfill your soul in the very material world. So, yeah, I think this is something that the Two of Materials here shows beautifully, that it's a balancing act, and probably nor the one or not the one nor the other, if you have two options, or you know what I mean, two aspects, will ever win the upper hand, or get the upper hand, but more like it will be a constant process. That again, I feel that if we accept it and embrace it and say, okay, life would be easier when things were perfectly aligned, but since they are not perfectly aligned, then the least I can do for my soul and for my heart, like inner harmony, is to not to reject it and make life harder for me, but to embrace it and to not only embrace but kind of incorporate it, not only incorporate but kind of get it in my in one's life. And say, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I will create a dance with it. It's struggle, but I will be gracefully dancing through this struggle. Oops, sorry, you can see it. Yeah. And your soul will benefit from it, and probably also your surroundings. But I also feel the first thing I thought about this card is that it looks very abundant. These huge, beautiful roses here, standing on a diamond. You see, like balancing. That's very, on the very tip of the diamond. That's pretty hard. But the person they are managing, and it seems to work out. They're very ecstatic. The head is thrown back, and they seem to have it under control. So I don't know. Maybe there's also this controlling part here. Although I said, let go of the control, because you maybe just have it. You know, when you are embracing all that is there, instead of fighting against one side, because when we fight against one thing, we are torn towards one thing and we forget about the other. So when you kind of embrace both, then you don't have to control. It will it will balance you on its own. Yeah, I guess that's it. Okay, Capricorn. So that was mid-April. Mind, body and soul, present and future reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I wish you all the best, and thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, and if you want more videos, then stay tuned for upcoming videos. And so far, bye bye.